guys, it's Talisha and come along with me for a show with Sugar. So this is Sugar's second ever comp and it was at Shibumi, which is fairly close to us. It's only about 20 minutes away. So it was a late start as well with the tests in the afternoon, which was really nice. Had a good sleep in and it was so windy. I couldn't believe how windy and cold it was here. Gosh. So here she is warming up. This was actually when the warm-up was the quietest. We actually had 4 horses in the warm-up at one stage with her and she handled that so well. There was show jumping and everything going on. As you can see, this is her first time around the arena and she was just still like balking at a couple things. But she quickly settled in and performed really nicely in the warm-up. This is all just literally from the very first initial trot in the warm-up, by the way. I didn't get any footage of her further in the warm-up, but she was very good. Considering I just got straight on and went. And both of her tests were in the indoor, which she hasn't been in before. She hasn't actually ever been in a proper enclosed indoor like this. She's been in one where it's half open, like the one long side is open and one short side is open. So this is her first time in one that's completely enclosed, and she was a bit balky at most corners, as you can see here, but she didn't do anything super spooky, which was really nice. It was just like I would feel her hesitate. She was very tense for this first test, which you can see, but she felt more tense than she looks actually. But yeah, she came in pretty unsure of everything, but she was very trusting in me, and throughout the test got more and more relaxed and started to drop her head more and more, which was really nice. She hated this short side that we're heading to now. Probably because the really long mirrors there, and there was a horse waiting outside and a steward as well there. But she went really well considering. Yeah. So still obviously little inconsistencies with the frame, but that's to be expected. This horse has only been broken in for 5 months now. I broke her in January, and she also had a month off during that as well for when I was out injured. But yeah, she's very sensible. Here we have our first canter. Her canter is definitely her strongest gait at the moment, and then I would say it's her walk and then her trot. Her trot just isn't as consistent as the other two. But she has a very nice balanced natural canter and sits very naturally as well, which is nice. Sits back on herself nicely. But yeah, it was good. There was no mistakes at all in this test. It was a massive field of competitors. I go over all of my score sheets at the end of this video for all the proper detailed results. Here is the attempt at the stretchy trot. She was just a little bit too tense to drop her head, unfortunately. But she settled a little bit in the walk and we got somewhat of a nice stretch in the long rein walk. First we have the medium walk. But yeah, anyway. So I go over our score sheets properly at the end of this video, but she actually came 6th in this test out of about 38 people, which was crazy. I did not expect to place at all. It was a big surprise to hear my name called out over the loudspeaker. She looked at the audience there because there's a grandstand. She was like, "Oh, hello, humans." And then we get a little bit of a stretch on this diagonal eventually. She kind of drops her head a little bit towards the end there. And she stretches really well. It's just, obviously this is a bit of a stressful environment, so that'll come with more experience for her. But yeah, so she scored a 68% for this test and got 6th place, out of 38 competitors, which was really good. Nearly did a walk to canter there accidentally, and I was like, oops, no. She's a very responsive horse and a very reactive horse off my aid, so if I ever put a little bit too much leg on, she will let me know, as she did there when she nearly tried to jump into canter. No, Sugar, we're doing a prelim test. Come on. But yeah, I'm honestly just blown away with this horse. She was definitely the most inexperienced horse there as well. And she just went so well. I was very proud of her. Believe we canter in the next corner. If I've got my test right. Nope, I don't. Oh, we go across the diagonal first. I always struggle to find things to say when I'm like voiceovering a prelim test on a young horse because honestly, all you want is straight lines and 20-meter circles. So there's only so much I can pick apart. We canter here, and this was a really nice transition. She's got such a cute little canter. Her canter, once it builds more and more strength, I feel will be a really, really nice canter up the levels. It's just a very naturally balanced canter, and she can sit back on her hind end so easily. And she can go. Like, if you ask her to go, she will go. She's a spicy little redhead, that's for sure. But she has a really, really good amount of energy that is easily contained, and you can easily bring it out. It's the perfect amount, because she is a bit hot, but she's just very easily contained, I find anyway. What a lovely little halt. Good girl. Good girl, little shuggies. So, sorry, little clear the voice. So this is the 1.3, and this test was a bit different in the way that I was not placed against anyone else, because at this competition they host a test in each level, and then there's also a section where you can pick your own test, and I wanted to do another prelim test, so I picked my own rather than going up against like doing a novice or doing a prep. I mean, she's not ready for a novice by any means yet. And I didn't want to just do a trot test and just do a prep. So I picked my own test so I could run through this, and all that means is that I obviously am not up against anyone else, but I still do get a score sheet and all of my results and percentages, which is all I want. I'm not going to these comps with her to place or to, anything. I'm not even super worried about the scores. I'm just wanting her to get out, get exposed to new environments, and be able to perform and do a test and hopefully stay in the arena. But really nice canter work there. I was really happy with that. She was a little bit more inconsistent in the frame in this test, I found. Just in the trot, just in the bending, in the serpentine, because it is a bit harder for her, obviously, to bend in a serpentine than it is an easy 20-meter circle. It's very easy to maintain the contact in a 20-meter circle because the flexion doesn't change, where when you're doing the serpentine, there's a slight change of flexion on each bend of the serpentine. So here we go in the walk. She was a little bit, didn't love this side of the arena just because of the crowd here, and there were kids outside the arena screaming and playing and stuff. So it was really good experience for her. Here is the long rein walk, which she is stretching out a lot better than the last test. At times, we lost it there. There we go, a bit more stretch. This horse can put her nose to the ground, but that'll come in time. We do it at home, and then she looked out at the kids screaming, got a bit distracted in that corner there. But then she came back to me really nicely. The good thing about Sugar is she, as I have said, she's sensitive and a bit reactive, very reactive in a good way to your aids. But she's also a very sensible mare. So yes, she's sensitive, and, any touch means something to her and she reacts off it, but she is never silly or untrustworthy with it, if you know what I mean. Like, she always is very sensible in the way that she controls her body and just herself. She's very sensible. Like, even when she was a bit nervous in the arena in the first test, she didn't do any big spooks. She just kind of looked at it, and with me just putting my leg on and saying it's okay, she was like, okay, whatever you say, I trust you. And I do think that's because obviously I'm the only one that has done anything with this horse. Sorry, fell out of canter there. But I've never put her in a situation where she has felt uncomfortable or unsafe. I've taken everything just at the speed that she needs, and every experience has been super positive with her from day dot. The whole breaking in process I obviously filmed, and you've seen all of that, and she had not one moment of uncertainty throughout that whole process and throughout all of our outings, whether it be lessons or the 2 comps we've done, or even the pony club rally day we did when she was a bit horse shy. She quickly was able to realize that, hey, this human is not putting me in unsafe situations, and I do feel that because she has that level of trust in me and because I have been so good to her, she is as sensible as she is, because she's a horse that I feel could easily go the opposite way if she was not treated properly, because she has a lot of emotions, this mare, but I've only ever seen good emotions out of her. But she is a very, very sensitive mare, and I think she is just going really well considering. So it is the next day. Surprise, surprise. No one's surprised by now. Every time I do this little sum up part of my vlog, it is always the next day. But I just wanted to do a quick recap and talk about the day. So I'm so freaking proud of Sugar. We scored a 68% and a 67% in our tests. The first test we were placed as well. We came 6th out of about 38 competitors, which is ridiculous. And the second test, they didn't do places because it was like a pick your own test, so you just got the score in your score sheet. But yeah, so I'm just honestly so happy with these results. I'm going to talk to you guys about the judges' comments and just a couple little things on the tests. The best thing and the thing I'm really happy about is that the only critiques in both tests were that she was wobbly, or that she was a bit tense, or needed more balance, which is all just young horse things. Like, she just needs to build more strength and get more experience. It's really positive results. The comments from the first test was super young horse with clear athletic paces, showing heaps of potential for the future, ridden softly, effectively, and demonstrating considering and professional riding. Well done. I think that's the best comment I've ever gotten on a test ever, for both myself and the horse. Oh, when I read that, it was just so nice. Like, it made me really happy. I scored an 8 for my riding, and Sugar scored an 8 for her paces. She scored a 6.5 for impulsion and a 6.5 for submission, which is fair enough. And that's the test we got 68.57 on. So, and throughout that test, like, we've got a lot of 8s, a lot of 7s, but then a couple 5s sprinkled in a little now and again for the first for the enter, like on the first center line, sorry. We got a 5.5, and it said a little wobbly and some tension. And then the other 5.5s were just needing to be a bit more balanced, or one was she was a bit unsettled, like just like baby things, which is really nice. And then the judge on the second test said, well done, a bit of tension affecting moments of the test, but still a super young horse showing correct training and development with a lot of potential, well ridden. And again, I scored an 8 for my riding, and Sugar scored a 7 for her paces, and then she scored a 6.5 for both impulsion and submission. So yeah, very positive. That was Sugar's second ever competition, and she has only been broken in for 5 months now. Like, I broke her in January, and for her to be receiving such great results already just makes me so happy. And just those comments as well, having the judges say that she is progressing correctly and the training is correct, it just makes me feel very happy about all the work that I've been doing with her, obviously. It was a very big atmosphere at Shibumi. She has never seen jumping whatsoever before, and obviously there was a whole show jumping course, there were little kids running around on ponies. It was also her first time in a warm-up that was like closed in with other horses. And when I first took her out to a little pony club rally day, I did notice that she was horse shy. So it was definitely going to be, well, I thought it was going to be a challenge, but she was completely fine. We actually got cut off in the warm-up as well. And, you know, if that was her a few months ago, she would have spooked and, you know, gotten quite stressed, but instead she pinned her ears back and like gave the horse a look like, don't come near me. She didn't get scared. She was just like threatened, like, don't come closer to me. Typical chestnut mare type face. But yeah, so I'm just really proud of her. She blew me away. I can't wait to get out to some more comps. I will now look at EA registering her and getting her out to some official comps, and that because that was another unofficial comp. But yeah, I've got her registered now, so I've got her passport here for her breed registry because she wasn't registered before. I had all the papers to do it, but her breeder had not registered her, so I did all that, and we've got her passport. So now I just need to get her EA registry, and then we can get out to some official comps and start to get some official scores, which would be really, really nice. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in next time's video. Okay, bye.